Hello and welcome to the Natural Way of Life. I am bringing you your November energy update and guidance. I'm going to use my intuition and also I'm going to be using numerology to give you an insight into what is going to be happening this month and the themes that you can expect to see as well. So, particularly the number 11, got it here on the screen. This is going to be a big month, okay? So expect to see more 11 energy, expect to see the number 11 even more. Now, if you were born on the 11th, the 29th, the 2nd, if you have a life path 11 and a life path 2, if you have it as your destiny number, your soul urge number, maybe your personality number, maybe you're in a personal year of an 11, then you can expect to feel heightened energies this month in particular. Now, I trust that if you're listening to this, you will have been drawn to this video for a reason. So maybe you don't have the number 11 or a 2 energy anywhere within your numerology chart, let's say. But maybe your best friend does, maybe your partner does, maybe your sister does. So there'll be a reason that you're listening to this. But also in general, I feel when you have the themes to the month ahead, it does definitely help you navigate the energy more easily. So, I just want to start with I did a quick live about this, but we are currently, at the time of recording this is the 29th. Oh, it's actually an 11 day I'm recording this, 29th of October. When you listen to it, I'm not sure. But on the 21st of October, we did go into the Mercury retrograde shadow period, okay? So if you're like me and I've been noticing it left, right, and centre, already seeing like miscommunication haps, problems with deliveries, technology, delays on the road with traffic and travel. Mercury is all about communication. So I've done other videos on it before, so I won't go on about that one too much. But officially, it does start on the 9th of November for around, I think it's 19 days. Then obviously there's a shadow period for about 2 weeks as well. So it probably isn't going to be around till mid-December where the energies start flowing a little bit more freely as well. We also have the planet Jupiter. I think that's on the 9th of November, going retrograde as well. Jupiter is that planet of higher wisdom, higher learning. So expect that's for around 3 months. So expect that, or it might even be a bit longer. Haven't got that note with me, guys, but it's in my other video. So yeah, you may be called more inwards to do more, learning, studying, self-development, inwards growth, which it does tie into the theme I want to put out there for November, which is the big theme of illumination. That is what the 11 energy does. You can see it on the screen there. 11 smack bang in the middle and illuminated. Those two wands, they got the line at the top as well. It is about illuminating, bringing things to light. And I feel that is going to be a theme internally for those that resonate with this, but also externally. So whether, in your own life, in your community, on the wider world stage, things will become illuminated. That is one of the powers and the beauty of that 11 energy. It has the ability to illuminate and light things up. It is a big lighthouse if you kind of look at it. It does shine light on things. That being said, it shines light not only on the good, but also the bad, so to speak, which I'm going to get into. Because that I feel like there's always a lot online about love and light, and 11, it's a master number, it's so powerful, it's such a high vibrational energy. But as with every number, no number is better or worse. They all just have their own unique energy, and with that you're going to have a higher side to that energy and then a more challenging side, so a lower side. So it's about talking about that duality, which I feel doesn't get enough airtime, if I'm honest. And I don't like to glaze over things, and I want to be real about the both sides of that 11 energy. So I have it as my soul urge number. So it has got great potential, but it's also got great challenges. and even looking at the base energy of it, the 2, which does make up, 1 plus 1 is 2, that also is tied in there at the base element. So the two energy will also be relevant. It's a very sensitive number. Okay, it will create, I'm gonna say, a bit of a tug of war. That is literally how to describe it, because the 2 1s, and with that 11 energy, with that you have a bit of a mix. You've got fire and water, so they are kind of opposing elements. You've got the yin and the yang, you've got the male and the female energies, as well as obviously the positive and negative charges of energy. So it's about seeing that it's not all love and light. Sorry to be the breaker of bad news, but as just as much good can be done with that energy, or those that resonate and have that energy, just as much bad can be done with it as well. So it is really all about, as the base of that 2 energy, is finding a balance. So that may come up for you with regards to finding a balance in your life, tuning in with your intuition more. Your partnerships and relationships will also be a big theme, because they tie into that energy, and others. So I always say, for instance, if this is your life path, if you're a life path 2 or a life path 11, November, you will be feeling it more intensely. Okay, you'll probably find more people are drawn to you. You'll be dealing with the issues around the energy of that number. So the themes, as we said, the male energy, the female energy, the yin and the yang, teamwork, partnerships, relationships, all those things to do with others, probably more so like feminine energy, as in like women in your life, maybe mother figures, sister figures. Those things can come up as a theme this month as well. So you'll see that play out in your life more so than others that don't have that energy, if that makes sense. But this is also worth listening to if in general you want to learn more, or you have those numbers, because it's going to show you. So like mine with my soul urge number, that'll be in the area of relationships. So those themes will come up for me in that respect too. Now, as we said, on the flip side of this 11 energy, and even the 2 energy, guys, I'm going to say with master number energy, it's so highly powerful and highly strung. It can give you, if you're not grounded enough, and if you haven't found a purpose to channel some of that energy into in a constructive way, if you haven't found a meaning, you will probably be excessively full of tension, anxiety, worry, extreme overthinking, extreme insecurity, extreme sensitivity, which can actually then be really destabilizing and debilitating. I'm even going to say, yeah. As someone like myself, who I do suffer with anxiety a lot, it literally can be debilitating. It can stop you doing things other people just take for granted. Even like, let's just say, opening your front door and stepping outside. So it is about finding a balance, some grounding, but also when you have something to channel your energy into. For me, obviously, that helps, with my spiritual gifts, my spiritual work, it helps for me to channel my energy into that and with helping others. Whereas if I haven't got something that I can use my energy constructively to do, I do feel the backup of the energy then, and it's like a whirlwind of worry, of thoughts, of anxiety, and it really can take over. Exercise is another amazing tool to use. So any forms of exercise, but if you're not really big into exercise, things like yoga, tai chi, martial arts as well, they really help to balance the energy. So have a think about that, because as well, when you look at the 2 1s, this is how they can work as well. They can either literally go really well together, or they can be really opposite. So imagine if you've got a person that's got really opposing thoughts, and they suffer with that in their mind. That can create a lot of, mental anguish, I'm going to say, because it then creates like a tug of war. So it'd be like, let's say you want to do something really good, then you want to do something really evil. It's this constant tug of war. Or maybe someone that 1 minute feels very feminine, then they feel very masculine in their energy. It can tug, and that goes for like men or women that may experience this. What I'm saying is it's like an extreme, a swing from one extreme to another. And on that challenge side of that 2 energy as well, it can be quite a deceitful energy, really intolerant of others and not caring, not supportive of others at all, completely imbalanced, completely egotistical, hypersensitive, like a really horrible person, to put it quite frankly, very competitive, all about themselves. Because if you look at one, one is that one, it's one on the flip side, could be really egotistical. You put 2 ones like that together, it's got the makeup to have something really, I can't even get the words to describe, but something really not nice energy wise. So, just be careful of the content you consume online that does make out that these, numbers and things are all just love and light. And oh my God, anyone that's got an 11, oh my God, they're going to be absolutely such an amazing spiritual person, because it's not true. Because you'll find, as we've said, on the flip side of people that have these numbers, they could be some of the most evil psychopath, killers or murderers that are locked up in prison. So, it's all about extremes. And unfortunately, with master numbers, that is what you see at the highest potential. Someone that's really evolved or in the public eye, doing amazing things, helping in the world, doing healing work. But on the flip side, like I say, it can be a really not nice energy. And that goes for all numbers, but more of an amplified sense. I'm going to say the 11, the 22, the 33, and the 44. Yeah, there's a lot. And I do feel for people this month if you are relating with this number, because we mentioned the fire and the water elements, and because they're directly opposite and they don't mix, fire and water do not mix. That in itself creates problems, challenges, and tensions. But that is part of the mastery element, I'm going to say as well. With any master number, it is about mastering your own problems, difficulties, and challenges in life. And once you master that, that's part of your journey. Just like some people in life are just going to complete school. Then you'll have some people that do school and college. Then you'll have some that maybe do school, college, and A levels. And then some that do all of those and university, and the highest levels of learning you can do. It's kind of a bit like life in that respect when you look at the numbers. So when I speak about the master numbers and, like, let's say the 11 frequency here, that is what it is. It's like one of the highest degrees of learning you can do on earth, and some souls have signed up for that. That's why it's very important as well when you're calculating, or if I'm doing someone's reading and looking at all of their blueprint, all of their chart, you are familiar with all the different ways to look for master numbers, karmic numbers, challenge numbers, because a lot of people, the way they calculate or it teaches online is these reduction methods, but actually then you're only looking at numbers 1 to 9, which doesn't even give you a full view or spectrum of that individual's potential. It's such a tiny chunk of what they're going to see. So it's deep, okay? It's deep. And like I say, just be careful not to be too egotistical. If you feel yourself stepping too much into that ego zone, those 2 ones, that 11 energy, which, can make someone really egotistical and not in a good way, and having, a lot of mental anguish and clashes inside their mind. It's not a healthy energy to be in. So if you feel that, make sure to work on balancing yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, okay? With that being said, I'm going to say as well, if you're on the more positive side of that 11 vibration, illumination is the theme. With that comes your intuition. So one of your gifts in life is definitely working with your intuition and learning to trust that and use that. And this is also relevant for the 2 energy as well. So life path 2s, in anywhere in your chart with the 2 energy, it's your intuition. It is connected to your sacral chakra area. So that will also be highlighted this month, okay? Now, if that's in balance, you're going to feel great. Everything's going to probably flow to you in abundance. if you have blockages or challenges in that area, you may then they might manifest physically, physical ailments or problems in the sacral chakra area, lower stomach, the hips, your womb, those areas on the body. Problems may show up. So it's a good time to do some healing for those this month as well, and embrace that orange color as well. But also 2-1s, it is also about the root chakra. That tie that into what I said about it being very highly strung energy. So tie that in and look at some grounding practices and, exercise and things like that you can do to help balance some of that energy. Because yes, master numbers, it is huge, intense energy. And I feel for people, because I feel like now more than ever in the world is so highly stimulated by everything anyway. Then you've got individuals that are naturally more highly stimulated, have these stronger energy fields. It becomes increasingly difficult as a human, as a spiritual being in a human body, to keep going on earth. So I feel for you guys, I really do. It's a lot. So just take it in your stride. You've got an insight into some of these themes. Use water as well. It's just come to me to use water. So I know it's a really simple practice, but having like salt baths every day, or essential oils or herbal baths, is going to be amazing for you to tune into that water energy, your intuitive energy, and to enhance that, because your intuition in life, you're going to have to keep learning to build that, work with it, and trust it. And it's one of your powerful tools, and the ability as well to cooperate and to work with others. And just to close up on that note, as I said, about the themes of illumination, you may find internal things become illuminated to you, right? So be open to receive, the messages and the guidance that comes through for you on an internal level, but also externally. Look at things that maybe you haven't noticed before, but suddenly it's like a flash of awakening or an illumination. It could be in the workplace, it could be with your friends, it could be with family, it could be in the world, things coming up in our conscious awareness that we can then be aware of. So I feel like there'll be a lot. And yeah, just don't be fearful of it. Trust your gut, trust your intuition, build it. It's a free tool in life. We all have one. It's up to us how we use it and embrace it. But like I say, if you're an 11 or a 2 energy, you've got a stronger gift. Okay, that's just something you have a benefit of over others. So I hope this has made sense. I hope you guys find this information helpful. If you, of course, have any questions, let me know in the comments. You can drop me an email. I would love to hear from you as well, as to how this month's playing out for you, how you're feeling the energies, how intense they may be. And of course, if you would love your own reading to learn more about your own unique energy and frequency, your blueprint, what you're here to do, or if you're going through challenges in life and you want that guidance, you want those predictions, numerology is an amazing tool. Combined with my intuition and psychic abilities and gifts, I can help you. So just drop me an email, and I would love to help and connect with you all. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing November, and I look forward to connecting with you all more. Okay, lots of love, guys. Bye.